everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Faye. Today I'm going to talk you through some skincare products that I have purchased multiple times. So I'm talking minimum 3, probably more. So they're products that I just really love and really work for me. Let's jump in. I'm going to start sort of at the beginning of a routine, like in the evening if you're getting ready for bed, you would do products in a certain order, and I'm basically going to do them kind of like that, I think. So we're going to start with some eye makeup remover. This is from Kiko Milano, and it is the Pure Clean Eyes and Lips, and this is a waterproof makeup remover. So I don't know if you can see in the bottle, there's 2 different types of liquid, so you shake it before you use it to combine it. And I mean, Kiko makes some really waterproof mascaras. Like if you need a mascara to be super waterproof, like it's not going to go anywhere, Kiko waterproof mascaras are insanely budge-proof, and so it would make sense that their makeup remover for waterproof mascara would be pretty damn good to get off that waterproof mascara that they make. And this is excellent. This is comparable to the Clinique one, which is also slightly purple, I think. I'll put a picture up. It's comparable to the blue number 7 one, but you get a lot in this bottle and it's quite affordable. It's definitely, I'm not quite sure how much the number 7 one is, but it's definitely cheaper than the Clinique one, and in my opinion it is just as good, because you don't want to be scrubbing at your eye area. If you've got a lot of eye makeup on, particularly waterproof eye makeup, you don't want to be going in there and rubbing, trying to get it off. With this you can just put it on a cotton pad and hold it. If you hold it for a while, it sort of sinks in, and then you can start wiping away, and you can be quite gentle because it is so effective. Okay, next thing, what I use to remove all of my makeup aside from waterproof mascara. This will do, if you have non-waterproof mascara, this will do the job. This is the DHC Deep Cleansing Oil, and this is that type of oil that, well, it basically looks like olive oil, but it's hydrophilic oil, which means it likes water, so you massage it onto dry skin. Then when you add water, it turns into a milky consistency and rinses away and takes all of your makeup with it. And oil cleansers and oil-based sort of balm cleansers are much better at removing makeup than using something foaming, soapy and water-based, because your makeup has oils in it, your skin has oils in it, and so this really seamlessly mixes. Unlike oil and soap, which sort of hate each other and resist, this will mix really easily with the makeup on your face, and then because it has that hydrophilic component where it likes water and it mixes with water really well as well, it rinses all your makeup clean off. And this, you just need 1 pump and it will get rid of everything pretty much, apart from a super waterproof mascara, which you need a separate product for. This is really excellent, and you can buy it in multi-packs through eBay if you are living in the West. It's a Japanese brand, DHC, but it's pretty readily available because this is such a popular product. Third, I have another cleanser. This is the kind of water-based foaming soapy cleanser that I was just mentioning, and this is a Clinique one that I have been using for years, since I was a teenager. And the reason I love this cleanser so much is not only is it very effective, so this is my in-shower cleanser basically, so I don't use this to remove makeup, but if I say remove most of my makeup with oil cleanser and then got in the shower, I would then also wash my face with this at the end to remove any last traces. I always personally double cleanse, so after an oil cleanser like this one from DHC, I go in with either a foaming cleanser or a cream non-foaming cleanser to make sure everything is super clean and everything is gone. So this one is great because it's not that expensive. I believe it's £17, which, I mean, you can obviously get cleansers that are cheaper, but you need so little of this. You honestly need the tiniest amount. It foams up so much, it goes so far that this will last you a really long time, so it's worth that £17. I'm going to quickly throw in Pond's Cold Cream, which I've been buying for years. I have a whole video dedicated to this, which I'm going to link below, so I'm not going to talk about this too much, but I use this to protect my dry skin from water, prolonged exposure to water, and it really helps prevent dry patches and flakiness, so I will link that video below in case you want to know more about how you can use Pond's to address dry patches on the skin. Moving on now to more of the kind of skincare component, now that you've got rid of all of your makeup, all of the oil and dirt on your face. And this is something I've repurchased many times. It is the nip+fab Glycolic pads. So these are basically pads which are already infused with liquid, so they're damp in here. So you need to keep it well sealed, but they do last a really long time. Like, they don't dry out very quickly at all. Like, you can keep these for a while. And basically these contain things like glycolic, salicylic and lactic acid. So they're going to exfoliate the surface layer of the skin chemically and address spots, acne, blemishes, things like that, and help clear the skin. So I don't use these every night, but like every few nights, or if I'm having like a flare up of breakouts or something like that, I'll go in with this, which is much stronger than my usual Clinique toner, although that does also have things like witch hazel in, which are going to address breakouts. These are basically pretty tough on breakouts. They really get in and exfoliate the skin. Like I said, you don't want to be using them every single day, but they are really effective if you are having a bit of a flare up your skin. I had to run and get this one because I left it in the bedroom. But I have been using this one for so long. I hate to think how many bottles I've gone through because it is quite expensive. But this is the Clinique Even Better Dark Spot Corrector. This is a serum which is going to help reduce hyperpigmentation. So if you have hyperpigmentation from the sun, or you have it from acne scarring, personally I have it more from acne scarring than from sun exposure, because I live in England where it's just not sunny. But this is 100% fragrance free. It's really good for all types of skin types. So I've been through some ups and downs and sort of changes back and forth with my skin, just because of being put onto different contraceptive pills by doctors, and my skin's gone super dry and then super oily, and then I've had problems with acne, and then it's kind of got drier again. But this is a product that I have used through all of those changes. So when my skin went super oily, I had to change up a lot of my routine and buy a lot of new and different products to try and, you know, deal with what my skin needed. But this I've just used continuously throughout all of those changes. It's never caused me to break out. It's never worsened any acne. It really, in my opinion, does reduce hyperpigmentation. Obviously, you have to use it over an extended period of time. This is not a quick fix. This is something you're going to have to use every single day, and it will slowly see reductions in pigmentation, because, you know, pigmentation is really hard to get rid of. Like, once you've got sunspots or acne scarring, it's not something that goes away quickly, but this does, in my opinion, help. And I have been using this particular Clinique serum since the end of 2013, and it has been a constant in my routine ever since. I've gone through so many bottles of this. I've given Clinique so much money, but the reason I keep spending the money on it is because it works. Another serum for you that I have repurchased many times, and which also actually worked for my skin when it was oily, when I had acne, and when it's been dry, and that's the Innisfree Jeju Orchid Essence. Now, I'm not quite sure why this is called an essence, because in my experience, usually you have serums which are sort of relatively thin, but they still have some thickness to them, but they're thinner than moisturizers and they sink more into the skin. Then you have essences, which are usually like below the level of serums. So if you're not familiar with an essence, it's usually super liquidy, like really liquidy, like the Misha Time Revolution First Treatment Essence, a long name. It's very liquidy. It's almost like water. It almost feels like just a tiny bit thicker than a toner, whereas this is actually really quite thick. So in my opinion, although it's called an essence, it's definitely more of a serum, or even a lightweight moisturizer. If you had oily skin, you could just go in with only this and it would do you pretty damn well. This is so hydrating, and not in an oily way. Like I said, I used this when I had acne, I used this when my skin was oily. I use this now layered with other products now that my skin is drier, but this is just so hydrating without being problematic for acne. If you don't like sticky sensations on your skin, you won't like it, because although it is a serum, it does leave a sort of sticky coating on the skin, but it's just so hydrating. I've also tried the moisturizer from this line, which is in a pot, and I mean, it's also quite good, but I don't like it anywhere near as much as this, the serum version of it. This is honestly so good. I wish I could tell you the ingredients that are in it right now, but I can't because it's all in Korean on the back, and there's not much in English on here apart from the name on the front, but I will link it in the description box down below, and if I can find out a little bit more information about what's in this, I will also write a little note about what's in this, because this works so well. And Innisfree is not an expensive brand. Like, Innisfree is a reasonably affordable Korean brand, so you're not going to have to splurge big money on this like you would on something like this, and it's just really super hydrating. Moving now on to moisturizers, so the step after your serums, things that are a little bit thicker, a little bit more focused on hydration rather than the active ingredients that are going to do things like exfoliate chemically or reduce hyperpigmentation. And I actually have another 2 Clinique products here. This is the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturising Lotion Plus. Please ignore the orange insert. This is the Clinique ID insert, and these are new, so I haven't tried the orange insert more than this one time. But the actual yellow moisturiser here itself I have been using for a long time, and they make a few in this range. So you've got your jelly, and then your gel, and then your lotion, and then they also used to make a cream, but I'm not sure they make a cream anymore, so I think this might be the most hydrating formula. But this is just a really good moisturiser. So for me, for moisturisers, I'm not looking for active ingredients, and by actives I mean like chemically exfoliating acids, like retinol, like vitamin C. I'm looking for those things in serums. When it gets to moisturisers, what I'm really looking for is something to hydrate and provide a nice barrier on my skin and keep it comfortable. And so this is a really fuss-free, just really good moisturiser. It does what it says. It moisturises. It also provides a really nice base for makeup because it's not too thick, it's not super oily, it doesn't lead your makeup to break up. So usually I would apply my serum, apply this, wait a little bit, and then go in with some primer and my foundation or whatever beauty products in terms of makeup that I might be using that day. But this, I mean, it works as a daytime moisturizer underneath sunscreen. It works as a nighttime moisturizer. You can apply a little bit, you can apply a lot. It's just a really good basic moisturizer that is claiming to hydrate, and that is what it does. And I really like that about it, that it's not super fussy, because I have all of my actives underneath in my serums. And that being said, I mean, I got this Clinique ID thing because they're new and I kind of wanted to try them out, but I'm not convinced about them, because I'm not convinced about putting, so this is what basically putting actives in with your moisturizer. And personally, from what I've read, you're better off using a serum underneath your moisturizer, which contains these kinds of actives in higher percentages, rather than mixing a small amount of actives in with your moisturizing layer. Personally, I mean, if you're someone who really doesn't want to do skincare and you just want to do one step, you want to pump this out, put it on your face, and that's it, maybe mixing a small amount of actives in with your moisturizer will be something that you want to do just to simplify everything down. But for me, if you really want to see effects from your actives, you should be putting them on in a serum form, in a drop form, something that is a step before this. Let it sink into the skin rather than mixing it in with the moisturizer. That's just my personal opinion. There's nothing wrong with these, like, they're fine. But I'll probably go back to just buying the plain old moisturizer by itself, because like I said, I have all the various serums and other products that I use underneath already. The other Clinique moisturiser I wanted to talk about was the Moisture Surge. This has been out for quite a long time now. I remember when it was launched and I went and bought it. And this is really good for when, personally, I had more acne-prone, oilier skin. I mean, my skin's still acne-prone, but now it's like super dry, whereas it used to be much oilier. And this is a really good moisturiser if you are having oily skin. This has a gel texture. It's not oily. The reason I actually have a pot of it right now is not because I'm using it, but because I bought it for my boyfriend to try, because although he has dry surface skin, like dry patches on the face, he also finds that almost all moisturisers he's ever bought have made him break out. So I thought he could try this. Now obviously he hasn't really used it much yet, it's pretty much full, but he's tried it a couple of times and so far he is liking it because he doesn't like anything super sticky, he doesn't like anything really thick, he doesn't like anything with a really strong scent. So I think I have high hopes that this is actually going to work for him and not cause any problems, because like I said, it never caused any breakouts for me, and it's actually a really good one if you're looking for that moisture, that hydration, your skin is maybe dehydrated but it's oily and you have spots. Like, this is a really, really good one for skin like that. Moving on now to sunscreens, I have 3 sunscreens to share with you. The first is the CosRX Aloe Soothing Sunscreen. Now this is an almost empty bottle. I've been using this for many years. I did a video on sunscreens a few years ago now, where I mentioned this as one of my favourites. It doesn't cause me any breakouts, and this is still my favourite moisturiser for using when I'm not wearing makeup. It is a combination, I believe, of chemical and physical sunblocks. It's SPF 50 PA+++. This just means that it has UVA and UVB protection, so different countries do their sunscreen ratings differently. But yeah, one is UVA and one is UVB, and triple+ is a really, really good rating. It's not too expensive, it lasts a long while, it's very hydrating, so I use this. Usually if I'm going to use this, I don't put moisturiser on underneath, so I apply my serums, but I don't apply this, I just go straight in with this because it is really hydrating and kind of feels like a moisturiser as well as a sunscreen. I used this when I was in Thailand and Vietnam, and the UV index was like so high and I did not burn, whereas my boyfriend used some SPF 30 sunscreen that he had and he got very burnt. But this really does offer the protection that it says it does. A newer addition, but still at this point one I've been using quite a while, to that didn't make sense. Since my previous sunscreen video, I have started using this, but that was a couple of years ago, so I've now been using it for quite a while. This is the Heimish Artless Glow Base, and this is also SPF 50 PA+++, and this is what I now use if I'm wanting to wear sunscreen underneath makeup, because this also has a sort of sparkly sheen to it. If I get a little bit out, it's all leaking everywhere. It's sort of a almost pinkish white, and when you rub it in, as I do now, it has a definite like sheen in it. There's like some kind of glittery particles in it, but it doesn't look glittery, it definitely looks like a sheen, but it provides a really, really pretty base for under makeup if you want a glowy look, as well as giving you that SPF protection. Obviously it's got SPF 50, that's a really nice high rating for your face, because obviously you don't want skin cancer. It's just obvious. Like, obviously you don't want skin cancer, so you need to wear sunscreen, but I appreciate that it can be a battle to find sunscreens that don't make you break out, because no one wants to be using a product that is causing them a battle in another area. And for me personally, this has never caused breakouts. It's dried down a bit, and if you can still see that it's got quite a sheen to it. This is another one that's never caused me to break out, really offers that protection, and is really pretty under makeup. Or even by itself, if you're doing like a no makeup thing and you're not going to wear foundation but you want a bit of sheen, a bit of glow, this is a really, really lovely product. And I mean, it's a little bit expensive sometimes. I don't know if that's just buying it in the West it's expensive. I don't know if in like Korea it's expensive. Probably less expensive. Buying it here is a little bit expensive, but sometimes, you know, I mostly wait until it's on sale, and then so I already have a backup in my drawer because I saw it was on sale and I was like, well, I'm eventually going to need a new one, so I just bought it then. So if you can find it on sale, you can usually get it for a really good price. My final sunscreen is another Clinique product. You can tell how much I love Clinique, and this is the City Block. So this is a tinted sunscreen. It is a nude colour, you can see here in the tube. It is a tinted sunscreen. They make 2 different ones. So this is the SPF 25 and they also have an SPF 40. The difference between them, if nothing's changed since the last time I looked at the formulas, is that the SPF 25 is purely physical sunscreen. So if you're someone who is sensitive to chemical sunscreens, and I personally, I'm okay with these 2 that I just mentioned, but I am sensitive to some physical sunblocks and I can't always use a physical I'm sensitive to some chemical sunblocks, So sometimes I look for a product that's just physical sunscreen, so things like zinc and titanium dioxide. So this SPF 25 is purely physical sunscreen. It actually says on the back, no chemical sunscreen. So if you are someone who is sensitive to chemical sunblocks, this is a really good option. It also has a tint because physical sunblocks tend to be quite white in appearance. They can create a white cast. So they have a tint in this to try and compensate for that. And it actually looks really pretty. If you're going to put on really simple makeup in the summer, maybe just a little cream blush, a little mascara, you know, do your brows and put a lip gloss on, and you don't want to wear foundation and you do obviously want to wear sunscreen, the City Block is a really, really nice product. And the SPF 40, if you want more protection, is similar, has the same kind of tint, also contains physical sunblocks, but it contains chemical sunblocks as well. So if you're someone who isn't sensitive to chemical sunblocks, you can get the SPF 40, and that is, it's very, very similar to this basically. It's just got chemical sunblocks as well. A few more products to talk to you about. This is quite a long video. I've used so many of these. This is a sheet mask, a Korean sheet mask. This is from Tony Moly. They make a lot of different ones of these. So this is the snail one. It's super hydrating. I know that some people are super grossed out by the idea of snail mucin, like in their skincare. And I get it, I do. But once you've actually tried it, it doesn't smell of anything. It doesn't look gross. It's just like clear gel, slightly tacky in feeling, but it's very, very hydrating, again, without being comedogenic. So it doesn't cause breakouts. It's just really hydrating. And so this is a sheet mask. You take it out, you use it once, you put it all over your face. They also make other ones. I think I've got a ginseng one as well, which is like an energizing kind of mask. And these are really affordable. You can buy them in big packs. And they're just really lovely if you're looking to relax and treat yourself, as I think we should be doing right now. So I might actually use this one later. Then I have a lip balm for you. This is the Hada Labo Hyaluronic Acid Lip Balm. It's been stuck to it. And it basically looks like a typical stick lip balm. But it is the best stick lip balm I have ever used. And it's probably because it has that hyaluronic acid in there. Instead of just being something like a Vaseline kind of texture, which basically just coats your lips, doesn't sink in, just provides a barrier to stop them drying out further, but doesn't like actively hydrate them if they're already dry. Does that make sense? Like some lip balms, they just sit on top and they create a barrier and stop moisture leaving your lips. But if your lips are already chronically dry, you need more. You need something that's going to actually sink in and help, not just be that barrier. And this, in my opinion, does that. And I think that's because it has that hyaluronic acid in it. Okay, 2 products left. These are body skincare products, and I'm just going to very quickly talk you through them. This is the Sanic Advanced Atopy Care Bath and Shower Oil. It's a very big tub. This I buy in packs of 3 through Amazon. And I have just like chronically dry skin. Like the skin on my body, like my legs and my arms, is so dry. So using like a regular soap on my skin just makes it drier and drier. I like a scaly flippin' like snake, basically. My skin is that dry. And so I'm always looking for body washes that are not going to dry my skin out and they're going to be hydrating. And the Sanic Advanced line, particularly the Atopy Care line, is excellent. And I've gone through probably it's probably my 6th bottle. This is my absolute favourite body wash for dry skin because it has those oils in it. It does still foam up. It's not like it doesn't foam up, because I mean, I know how some people feel about soaps that don't foam. Like, it doesn't feel like you're washing yourself properly sometimes if the soap doesn't foam. Like shampoo that doesn't foam, it feels really weird. So this does still foam, but it has oils in it. And the final product is from Kiko Milano, and these are the Scrub and Peel wipes. So these are body wipes, they're not for your face, because the scrubbing side of these wipes, they've got like 2 sides, a smooth side and a rough side, and the rough side is really like, it is really rough and exfoliating. Like, it is scrubby. It is not something you want to put on your face, absolutely not. Although if you take a corner of it and use it to exfoliate your lips, that's very effective. These I use on my legs. So when my legs are getting particularly dry, obviously, you know, I have things like scrubs in the shower, and I have obviously moisturizers that I use. But if you ever are, you know, not wanting to go in the shower, you notice like you've got some dry skin on your legs that needs exfoliating, you've got like patchiness, or you know, you're starting to look like a scaly snake, these are excellent. They're like so scrubby, honestly, like they're super rough. Do not put them on your face, please. But buy them for your body if you have dry skin and you need an extra bit of exfoliation, and they're honestly really, really great. And I think that was quite a long video. I think that is everything that I have to tell you about today. So these are all products that I've purchased a minimum of 3 times. A lot of them more like 6, 7, 10. Yeah, I mean, I've got no idea how many of these or these that I've been through. Same with the Clinique serum, like I honestly wouldn't be able to count. But you know someone really likes something and finds it really effective when they just keep on buying it. So I hope today's video was helpful for you, that you learned a bit about some products that maybe you would like to try. Leave me a comment down below if you have any questions about any of the products, and I will do my best to dig around and do some research and answer them for you. I will put some information in the description box about the ingredients of some of these products that I mentioned, just because the list of chemicals on the back is like very, very difficult to figure out for a normal person who doesn't speak chemicals. Okay, that's everything. Bye.